Hello everyone, my name is Adam Hedelund, and this is my presentation of my house buying experience. Okay, so first of all, the family. This is the Hedelund family. I modeled the family after me. My name is Adam Hedelund, so I'm assuming I'm the father of the family. I'm not dating anyone right now, so I just kind of had to come up with a wife. Her name is Emma. I am going to get a master's in marriage and family therapy, and I hope that my first job is a marriage and family therapist. Emma, my pretend wife, is a BYU graduate with a degree in music education and teaches voice lessons on the side. Together we have one son named Ben, who is 2 years old, and we have one more child on the way. That's kind of my family. So their financial situation. Both parents make some sort of an income. The dad makes some money from his job as a marriage and family therapist, and the mom teaches voice lessons on the side. So together they make about $63,400 a year, and together they have about a total of $10,000 in their savings. I decided for my unique factor that I wanted to give this family a kind of a medical challenge. So their son has autism, and one of the struggles that they're going to work through is finding a school or a local program that could support their son. Mortgage payment right now, they hope to be at about $1,300. They have no outstanding debts, which is super great. Maybe a little bit unrealistic, but with the way that my life is going right now, I may actually be able to pull that off, which would be super cool. Okay, what is this family looking for in a home? They need 4 bedrooms and 3 baths. They want a backyard. They'd like to live close to the dad's parents, so they live in Vineyard. And they would like to have an area with good schools. Okay, so the dream home has a big backyard. It's near the dad's family, good neighborhood, 4 bedrooms. Does not have all 3 baths that they were hoping for. The price is about $275,000 with a monthly mortgage payment of $1,035, which is super good, well within their budget. The modest home is also near the dad's family, has 4 bedrooms, and it has the 3 baths, smaller backyard, better neighborhood with better schools. The price is a little bit more, and the monthly mortgage payment again is a little bit more. I know that this seems a little odd, but I really wanted to have the reason that I have the other house as my dream house is because the dream house just was more appealing to me. It looked nicer. It was a little bit cheaper. It had a bigger backyard, but it doesn't have everything that we need. So in that sense, it kind of is the dream, but not really, everything that we need. So the modest home is really more what fits all of the things that this family wants. But I'm going to be doing most of my calculations for the dream home just because it is a little bit cheaper. So, okay, the budget. When I made the budget the first time, originally the taxes were a lot higher. So in this newer budget, there's a lot more savings which goes into it. I did decide to keep the rent at an idea that they were going to continue to be renting. I just from the beginning felt like this family wasn't ready to buy a home, so I've kept that. Also, I gave groceries a lot more. I realized at the beginning, after talking to my parents, that I had severely underestimated the amount of money that a family would need for groceries. So it's a lot higher now. So that's the budget. Okay, savings plan. For the emergency fund, I chose to go with about $16,000, which is the 3-month range, a little bit above. The dad is a marriage and family therapist. That job isn't going anywhere anytime soon. In fact, the need for it is just going to increase in Utah as time goes on, so I'm not expecting any big issues for a little bit, so they should be fine with a 3-month fund. For the down payment, I chose to go a little bit above 10%. Couldn't quite reach that 20%, unfortunately, but their long-term savings are going to both the emergency fund and the down payment. It should take them about 4 to 5 years to actually get both of these things. So they have quite a bit of saving to do if they were to just do it at the 0% rate, which they won't, but that's kind of where they're at right now. Okay, optimum mortgage terms. So the home price, the dream home is about, again, $275,000. I want to make a down payment of $35,000. My credit score is excellent. I always pay off my credit card. So I'm expecting to have a really good credit score. So both the 15-year mortgage is at 4% APR, and then the 30 is at 3.8 APR. It's not a huge difference, but enough to make somewhat of a change. I'm going to calculate for the 30-year mortgage rather than the 15, although I think in the long term 15 would be better for this family. For taxes, home mortgage is about $9,000, property tax about $1,200. Without a home, $3,400, and with a home about $3,000, almost $300. So it's not a huge difference. Again, when it comes to taxes, but it will add up over time. So it would be nice if this family could buy a home, but again, wouldn't be the end of the world if they rented for a little bit. Transportation is actually a super good situation. The family currently owns a Honda CR-V 2014, which was actually handed down from the father's parents. So the car's already paid off, no monthly payments. The average maintenance cost is about $350 a year, and that's if things go bad. But all in all, it's about $60 a month with a $66 for fuel, and then $66 for insurance. So the family is looking to buy another car, but for right now they're doing pretty good on the car end. Long-term debts, really no long-term debts. The only thing that they have to worry about is tithing, which is awesome. PITI, I calculated this for a 30-year loan. They will have to buy PMI, but in total it's going to cost about $13,000, which is a little bit more than what they had originally budgeted, but it's still within the range. It should take them about 4 to 5 more years to be able to get off that PMI and let go, which is about the amount of time that they wanted to save. So this whole process looks like it should take about 10 years if they were to save and then also buy a home afterwards. With the loan, they actually do qualify for a good loan. They're at a 35%, so they're just under the 36% for their back-end ratio, which comes from the fact that they don't have a lot of debts, and their PITI is pretty good. It is just under the wire, which makes me a little bit concerned that their family would be a little bit stretched if they were to go for their dream home. And even going for the modest home, because that would be more expensive, would be a little bit difficult. But technically, they're well within the range to be able to be successful and get the loan that they need. Rent or buy? I am definitely leaning towards rent at this point in the process, but I'm looking at the pros and cons. One of the major pros about renting for this family is that it would give them time to save more money, which they absolutely need. One of the cons is the family would like to get stable sooner than later. They're going to be going through a lot of changes, and moving is a big ordeal, and it's a large undertaking. So it might be better to actually just get into a house now and avoid some of that massive change. For buying, the pros, again, it's the stability that comes with that and the tax reduction, which would be awesome for that family. The cons, however, with the family's new discovery of their son's autism, they may not really have the money right now, and it may set back their savings plan a little bit more than they thought, so buying might be farther out than they're considering. Rent or buy continued. The family should be able to buy that house in about 5 to 6 years, but again, they just need more time. And the biggest factor that's playing into this decision is the fact that the son has autism, and they need to figure out a way to pay for his education. So, comparing interest on the loans, the 15-year loan overall interest would be about $11,000. For the 30-year loan, the interest would be about $23,000. So the difference is between the two is about $12,000. So the 15-year mortgage is significantly less interest, and it would save them a ton of money in the long run. So that would be hopefully what they could shoot for, and that would probably be a lot better for the family. So when it comes to investing, if the family were to go in to the cheaper house and they were to get the 15-year loan, this is a really big educated guess, but they could probably put about $300 every month into the investment portion of their financial situation, which after 30 years would give them about $7,300,000, which is a ton of money after that much time. So I definitely think that the 15-year loan with the cheaper house would be a lot better idea. It would give them a lot of money to work on with the next couple of years and go quite a bit into their retirement. Okay, so what is the best thing to do? Overall conclusion, right now, renting. And that just comes down to a lot of different factors. But I think the biggest one, again, is the fact that their son is autistic. I looked up the average autism education costs in Utah, and it's about $750 a month. And right now, that's what's going to their rent. So if the family were able to wait just a couple more years so that they could buy a house and save up, that way they'd just be in a more comfortable place to continue to support their son, but also be able to buy a house without being stretched too thin. On top of that, the family's just going through a lot of change. They have to learn how to parent a child who's on the spectrum. They have to start a new job. They're welcoming another baby into the family, and they're saving up for another car. I don't want to put this marriage through any more stress than it has to be. So I think waiting will take some of that pressure off and allow the mom and the dad to really just adjust to where they are in life without having to be angry at each other and frustrated because of finances. In the future, I think the family really needs to ask themselves how much space they need to be happy. I realized through this process that I don't need that much. Also, the second thing is that they really didn't take the school district into account. In about 5 to 6 years, both of their kids will really be more involved in school, which I think will be when they need to really start thinking about it. So that will change things. And then finally, I don't think the family really considered what their house would be like to sell. I know that I didn't think about it. I mean, both of those properties are good, but it would probably take a lot of renovations to keep up with the housing market. So that in a couple years, when they do want to get into a bigger house, that they could sell it a bit easier. So again, I think just space, school district, and renovation were things that need to be considered the next time they look at buying a house. So I landed on renting for this family. I think that's the best idea for them right now. And I think that has a large part to do with that they could buy a house, but it would just be too financially tight for what they're trying to do right now. So thank you for watching, and that is the Hedelund family.